Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia McNulty.
And I'm Audrey Fannin.
And today we're going to talk about Mercury Retrograde. I hear the collective moans out there.
I'll moan now.
Oh, yeah, I know. It'll be okay. Trust me, it'll be okay. And the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, and that's going to be exciting energy. But before we do that, I want to remind you, April birthdays out there, that it's time to order your solar return report. That outlines the energy coming your way from this birthday to the next. So it'll show you the good energy you want to take advantage of. It'll show you the not so good energy that you want to have a plan B for. You can find the information on how to order your solar return report and chart on my website under current promotions. And also you'll find something out there that I'm very excited about is I've started a line of intention bottles. Right now, they're just the zodiac signs. And so, for example, I'll give you an example. If you are going for a job interview and maybe you're not feeling your normal confident self, one of the intention bottles you could get is a Leo, because Leo's ruled by the sun. They're very outgoing. They've got a sunny disposition. So you have that intention bottle. Or, for example, if you've been procrastinating and you really need to get a particular job done, or you're in college and you really need to get that thesis paper done, pick up one for Capricorn with that Saturn energy. That's a nice, earthy, let's get it done, work hard. There will be explanations and uses under each intention bottle, and you can go and check them out and see. And you can also just buy one that matches your sun sign, just to have. So if you have any questions, you can always reach me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can send me an email through my website. So no problem contacting me at all. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. And first off, yes, Mercury has gone retrograde in Taurus and will be retrograde until May 14th. Now, I have always advised my clients, and I try to live this advice myself, is when we are faced with Mercury retrograde, this is a cosmic pause for us. It gives us a chance to regroup. Let's say you did put, a project aside. It just wasn't working, or maybe you ran out of time, whatever. Now's a good time to revisit that project. Look at it with fresh eyes, and you'll probably find that you either have found a solution or you're re-energized with it. You're ready to tackle it once again. Now, this particular retrograde is in Taurus. Mercury is in Taurus, and the retrograde period is in Taurus. Taurus is one of the slowest and most grounded signs in the zodiac. What happens is we've planted all our seeds in Aries. Now, that's great. We've all started this project in Aries. Well, we have to maintain those goals. We have to nurture those goals. And that's where Taurus comes in. The key words right now for this retrograde are delays in money matters, revision of values. Maybe this is a period of time you're going to be thinking over how you feel about your spirituality. Relationship dynamics for sure, material possessions, and the natural world. Taurus is an earth sign, so Taurus is concerned with, what's happening to us globally. Now, as a fixed sign, Taurus prefers predictability. And Mars retrograde, loves to throw a wrench in those plans. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, values, and finances. So as Mercury moves backward through Taurus, we may be rethinking those areas in our lives. Taurus is also a sign that's very in tune with its senses and the tangible world. Globally, these themes relate to the environment, our financial systems, and relationship with consumption. Now, right now, something that we have to bear in mind is Pluto has moved out of Capricorn into Aquarius. And, all the financial shakeups have to do with that energy moving out of earthy Capricorn into airy Aquarius. So on a more personal level, we need to look at, our own finances. How well set are you? Maybe this is a good time to look at a financial planner, or at least have someone evaluate, your finances and make sure that they're safe and stable. Now, as far as our carbon footprints out there, how are we dealing with the environment? How are we dealing with climate change? We can all do little things. You do enough little things, it makes a big thing. So, how can we start being more aware and caring for Mother Earth? So also, we want to look also overspending or overdoing in all ways. We want to look at, are we being too much on the consumer side and not really thinking about the long-term problems that might cause? Now, I'm going to have on my website in the Skywatch Journal a little bit more information about Mercury retrograde and some tips that, you can employ to help the retrograde go a little smoother and take advantage of the energy that's out there. Because even though it's retrograde energy, it still has value and it still has a purpose in our lives. And if we could work with it, the 3 weeks won't seem so gruesome. So, you got to work with what you got, okay? So instead of hiding under the bed, if we're proactive, may not, hurt so much. Now, along with, Mercury asking us to revisit and revise, we've got the new moon in Aries, which is a solar eclipse. So new moons are good for intentions and setting intentions. I would suggest, while Mercury is retrograde, that you don't so much act on the intention as you do your research. Because once, you'll just have to redo it once Mercury goes direct. It's one of those things where you think you've covered all your bases and you haven't. So do the research, really dig into it, make sure these intentions are what you want. So what's interesting about this particular moon is that it is the last degree of Aries. It's exactly 29 degrees, 50 minutes. And for zodiac signs, the beginning of the sign and the end of the sign is usually significant. It usually is a little bit of increase of power. So this points to strong impulses and pivotal feelings. Now, with an eclipse, this energy can be felt up to 6 months, not the usual 2 weeks we usually get with a regular new moon. In the sign of Aries, this eclipse put matters related to personal plans, courage, independence, and self-assertion in strong focus. You remember Aries, that's our cardinal sign there, cardinal fire, first sign of the zodiac. So you have push there, It's about new beginnings. long-term changes are also in the works. Now, the last time we had this kind of configuration occurred on April 19th, 2004, and prior to that, it was April 18th, 1977. So these events, don't happen often, so it's good that we take advantage. This eclipse can illuminate and challenge our issues surrounding independence and personal courage. We might take steps towards self-mastery, self-empowerment, by tackling the things that undermine us. Okay, what's out there that, is preventing you from living your best life? Is it a person who always seems to rain on your parade? Or are you in a circumstance where you maybe feel trapped or stifled? Are you not in a job that respects your unique talents? So that's something definitely to look at during this new moon, during this solar eclipse. This is also a good time to focus on some constructive traits of Aries the Ram. Aries are very straightforward. They're sincere, brave. Every Aries I know is somewhat of an activist, always ready to fight the good fight. I have a personal friend who's an Aries, and she's always ready to fight the good fight, for the underprivileged person without a voice. So every Aries is like that. So Aries new moons are generally good for taking action, to be new and innovative, and do it with confidence and gusto. Now that's another thing too, if for those intention bottles that I mentioned, Aries would be a good one if you're trying to foster in yourself confidence and a boost to your self-esteem. So now is a powerful time to reevaluate our relationship within ourselves. With this potent Aries energy, we have the chance to make important changes. It's also a good cycle in which to discover the benefits of expressing ourselves with authenticity. Speak your truth. Whatever that truth is, truth with a capital T. If the person you're speaking it to can't handle it, if they want you to be inauthentic, are they really the kind of person that you want in your life? Obviously no. That's when we start speaking our truth, it's amazing to me how many people just seem to disappear. They just can't handle it. This new moon, however, forms a square to Pluto. That means how it's aligned with Pluto. And it suggests some obstacles to clear as we wrestle with our fears and ambitions. So there may be things, it's not going to exactly be smooth sailing, but Pluto is our planet of transformation. So we need to take a look at those obstacles and think, okay, how can I make this work for me? What can I do about this? But on the positive sign, it aligns with Jupiter, our planet of expansion. So this encourages resourcefulness, courage, and a good sense of an opportunity. So answer the door when you hear the knock, because Jupiter is like sending you some good energy. The one thing that we have to be cautious about is because Aries is such a go, go, go energy, there is going to be a strong urge to act on impulse. Now, we also do have the, Mercury retrograde energy that we have to deal with. So being impulsive is not going to work for us. It's not going to work for our advantage. You're just going to have to redo everything again. So we want to have a plan. So also avoid jumping to conclusions. And don't assert yourself as an authority unless you really are an authority, because that could be very embarrassing. This Aries new moon energy, the solar eclipse attached to it, is a good chance to make important changes in our lives. Systems that are flawed will become very obvious to us. And also, too, I wanted to mention, if you have a birthday in and around the solar eclipse in April, this is going to be a very important birth year for you. Probably a lot of changes, a lot of good energy coming your way. If any of you want to discuss that, you know where to reach me.
When you say close to, do you mean a day or two, a week?
Oh, very good point. Thank you, Audrey. 2 days before, the day of, obviously, and 2 days after. Thank you, Audrey.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Now, sometimes, see, this is why I need Audrey. She keeps me straight when everything, starts to get rambly. So thank you, Audrey.
It's because I want to know.
Yeah, right. Definitely. So, yeah, that'll definitely be a big birthday for any of you out there that have birthdays in the next couple of days. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a little break. And when I come back, I'm going to have horoscopes for all the signs for the new moon, plus Mercury retrograde.
Visit EssentialZodiac.com to learn more about the Solar Return Special for those of you with April birthdays. Make it a gift to yourself to see what lies ahead for this year. While you're at the website, sign up for Cindy's monthly Skywatch Journal, and you'll receive timely updates in your inbox. And stay in touch in between episodes. You can follow Essential Zodiac on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Back to you, Cindy.
Thanks, Audrey. So now we have some horoscope for the new moon and for Mercury retrograde. Now, what I always suggest is these horoscopes are based on your sun sign, your solar sign. If you want a more accurate reading, listen to your sun sign, and if you know it, your rising sign. And if you really want a personalized horoscope, contact me, and I can get you one based on your personal, unique birth information. So here we go. So for Aries, the full moon in Libra is an invitation to celebrate the people closest to you, who you share your life with. Call in a feeling of balance between focusing on your individuality and sense of self, as well as uplifting those you are in a relationship with. The new moon solar eclipse is happening in your sign. This is a powerful portal of information that will have far-reaching effects on many areas of your life. You'll see this transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years, but it is your first taste, so just notice what comes up during the eclipse. Now, for your Mercury retrograde horoscope, Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down around your material manifestations. The money, the house, and other things that you desire so much are coming your way. However, they'll come much more easily if you reflect during this retrograde on why you truly desire them and get grounded in how they will bring pleasure and ease into your life. Now, Taurus. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will mostly occur in your dreams. You'll see transformation around your inner voice and the way you talk to yourself, and trust your intuition slowly unfold over the next 2 years. Mercury retrograde in your sign is asking you to slow down big time. You're usually pretty good at taking your time and stopping to smell the roses, but any urgency that's stuck into your vibe lately is taking a back seat. Reflect on where your life could use a pause and get grounded in pleasure again. Gemini. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on the communities you engage in. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years around which groups you choose to show up and the way your values are reflected in the communities around you. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down and take some much needed rest and soul nourishment. Reflect on what would allow you to truly rest and feel grounded in sleep, self-care, and intuitive support. Cancer. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on your work, career, or business. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years around how you fulfill your higher calling and achieve your goals in this area. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down and take a step back from any groups you're a part of that feel like they are draining your energy or asking too much of you. Reflect on what kinds of community or group spaces would feel grounding and supportive to you. Leo. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on your spiritual life. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years around how you engage with your spiritual practice and the teachers and leaders you learn from. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down, press pause in your work or business. You've been hustling recently, and it's time to take some much-needed rest and a step back from the edge of burnout. Reflect on what would make your work life feel full of ease and abundance. Virgo. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that may feel like a walk through the underworld. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years, helping you to step into your most authentic self if you embrace your shadows along with the light. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down in soaking up all that wisdom and making all those travel plans. You've been deep in research mode, but you're burning yourself out. Reflect on what would make travel and learning feel fun and pleasurable again. Libra. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on your closest relationships. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years around the ways you show up in sacred union with others. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down and allow appreciation for your whole self to shine through. Not just the light, not just the graceful aspects of your personality, but the darkness and shadows that exist too. This would be a great time to take up shadow work journaling. Scorpio. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on your health and wellness. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years around how you feel good and healthy in your body. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down in your relationships. You may have been quick to react recently or caught up in your own needs and desires. Reflect on how you can feel more grounded in pleasure and ease and in supporting the people closest to you in assessing those feelings as well. Sagittarius. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on your creativity. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years around how you find joy and inspiration all around you. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down and press pause on your rituals and routines. Reflect on how your rituals, or even just daily habits, have been serving you and how they have not. Focus on getting grounded in the daily activities that truly bring you pleasure. Capricorn. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on your home life. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years as people and places that are not truly home for you fall away and you find safety within yourself. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down and press pause on your creative ventures. Your creativity and inspiration will return, but they'll come back to you much more easily if you reflect now on what projects truly bring you pleasure. Aquarius. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on the way you express yourself. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years, and the words you use to describe yourself and the way you share your thoughts. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down and take some serious time for rest and rejuvenation. Take an extra long spa day or go away for a weekend of solitude and peace. Reflect how you can get grounded in rest on a regular basis. Pisces. The new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a powerful portal of transformation that will have the biggest impact on your finances and perhaps your sex life. You'll see transformation slowly unfold over the next 2 years around claiming your true worth. Mercury retrograde in Taurus is asking you to slow down and go with the flow. You're likely to have a very classic Mercury retrograde experience, so plan extra time for dealing with typos, miscommunications, and travel delays. Mercury isn't just messing with you, it's calling for a slower pace of life.
I actually have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Based on these horoscopes. And
sure.
So you talk about an eclipse having an effect for 6 months, but you've been talking here about an effect that's going to slowly unfold over 2 years.
Right, right.
Is there something specific about this particular new moon eclipse that's giving it a larger effect?
But this particular eclipse, what happens is within the 6 months, there'll be changes. But as those changes occur, it's like cause and effect. You'll have, the ripple effect for the next 2 years on what happened with that initial change for you. So when I'm talking about, there's going to be, for like Aries, we'll use, for the example, if, it's going to be an event, but that event is going to cause a ripple effect for the next 2 years. So you're going to make a choice about a particular thing, and that choice is going to give you consequences that will be far-reaching.
Okay, great. And you've repeated several times that this new moon solar eclipse in each of the signs is a powerful portal of transformation.
Right.
So very fascinated about the idea of eclipses and transformation.
Yeah, if you go back, what you have to think about and why the eclipses are given such importance, so you're a peasant in the field and, you're working away and all of a sudden, in broad daylight, the sun disappears. Well, the sun is the lifeblood of the community, right?
Right.
And how can it go away? Oh my God. And then, slowly the sun reappears. So it's a very impactful energy. And then when you talk about the lunar eclipse, the moon, unlike, the nighttime sky in modern times, that same peasant at night, had billions of stars and the moon to look at. Now, they were okay, with the phases of the moon because they knew that the moon would come back. But when you would have the eclipse, that was unexpected again. So over time, these events, through our collective of conscious, took on an energy to them. And it did color when the eclipses occurred, whether it's the moon or the lunar or solar, it does affect the energy, the way the energy, it's like when a planet goes retrograde. It does affect the energy for a brief period of time until, the eclipse moves off the sun or moon. And like I said, throughout the centuries, the collective of conscious have given these events a lot of impact. And eclipses were always considered transformative because, well, of course, back in the day, the astrologer and the astronomer were one person. So before any of the kings or nobles did anything, they consulted the astrologers for the best time to do things. And, you certainly didn't do anything during the eclipses because that was considered, a poor omen.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Does that help? Does that answer your question, Audrey?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Good.
As you were saying, it just made me really think about the ideas of transformation.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I should do a Skywatch Journal page just on the eclipses. It's fascinating, And I think that the one thing that people who dismiss astrology are not understanding is when this all did happen, they didn't have computers. They didn't have, they barely had telescopes in which to, follow the celestial happenings. So, but it's all very real energy. It's all very real. You just have to look at it from a different point of view.
Right.
So we have come to the end of our episode. Our next episode will be the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And we'll talk all about the lunar eclipse. And the air date on that will be April 28th. You don't want to miss it because the eclipses go hand in hand and you'll get all the complete information. And remember, with astrology, you can chart your life's course.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. We hope you'll like, follow, and subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends. Remember to visit EssentialZodiac.com and click on Current Promotions to learn more about the birthday special and Cindy's new Astro Tarot spreads. This podcast is produced at Muddy Creek Studios.